Good evening, everybody, and welcome along to One Hub Racing. This is the grand finale of the Podium tier tonight. We are here at Silverstone for the British Grand Prix, and we still got a championship to contend with two of these drivers, so best of luck to these guys. Sean's not here this week, so you got me, woohoo. I'm Jess, and joining in the Podium commentary box, as per usual, it's Nick. Hello, Nick.
Good evening to you, Jess. Good evening to everyone. And yeah, good to be here for the finale. Obviously Sean not here this week, but we've got as you mentioned, a Drivers' Championship to be decided. So Ian and Josh, the Toro Rosso and the Ferrari boys will be battling this one right to the checkered flag. 23-point gap. Josh leads Ian by, but of course in Silverstone, lots of high-speed corners, Jess, lots of gravel and grass. Anything can happen.
Yes, in particular, usually I find maggots and beggets on this game very difficult as well. So I think that's what the drivers will have to contend with quite a lot as well. So that means if Ian wants to win this championship, he's got to outscore Josh by a lot. So basically he has to win to basically stand any chance of taking the title out. But you never know. We have seen some surprises where some people have gone right from the bottom and clinched it right at the very last moment, like Kimi Raikkonen. Vettel's done it at one point as well, so anything can happen as well. 11 drivers, but it is expected due to the fact that the new game is out, but we had planned this season far in advance, and we couldn't really cancel this race out. And it's great to see some drivers still committed to this league and still wanting to race for the final time on F1 2018.
Yeah, obviously a lot of these guys, their championship ended a little while ago, but you know it's not all about championship. You obviously participate, and as exciting as the new game is, we've got one final outing here for the Podium tier and season 13 to close it off. So yeah, looking forward to seeing what these guys and girl put on for us. Only one phase, of course, being our only female driver at One Hub Racing, so should be looking to score some points today.
Yeah, that is good to have a variety of drivers who have come through the ranks as well. We've seen some new drivers in this tier as well, and some old faces as well. And you never know, we may see them next season up in higher rankings as well. So we have seen someone go from Podium to Prestige this season. So we might see some of these guys do that next season. You never know, but we'll find out sooner or later. As the first person that's come on top so far is Riley with a 127.2. They're on the softs at the moment. That is the softest compounded tyres for today. Don't forget, it is a 2 mandatory stop. And for the first time, we may see the blue hearts, which may impress some people. And we may see some people in some other tiers tonight might try that. But due to the fact that it is 2 stop, we probably won't see that at all. I think we'll see the softs for the qualifying. And I don't know what lap times this tier usually produces, because I never get the chance to watch this. So we could see people in the 126s potentially, because we did see Riley on the 127s, but we'll have to wait and see, as we still got a few people still to set a lap time. But Riley definitely setting a good benchmark at the moment.
Yeah, I reckon we'll see a few drivers into the 126s. That's for sure. Of course, when we did qualifying night, the whole 80 drivers were separated by under 3 seconds who took part in qualifying night. So obviously it is close, and I know Josh at times has sometimes been in the top 5 in pinnacle pace at certain tracks. So that's why he's leading the championship. And as you mentioned, we'd expect to see him move up next season. Riley, though, new to the league last week. We let him join for the last couple of races because he really wanted in. So here he is in the Podium tier, and I wonder if he'll have a say in the championship fight. Finished second on his debut last week in Austria, nice. And then went on to take driver of the day.
Nice. How much for the votes were there between the next person for driver of the day? Was it quite some margin, or was it close between the next guy and Riley?
I will have to have a look, actually, Jess. That is
sorry, I've thrown you a lot into the deep end, but anyway.
That's properly into deep end. I'll find it though.
Sorry about that. But anyway, I think we've only got, everyone's gone into the pits, which is quite expected, really, because we've got 10 minutes to go. I think the only person out on our lap is Scanny, who is in the Williams. As he's he's on his out lap at the moment, so he'll go on a fly pretty soon as well. I think Alex is in on the lap as well. He hasn't finished a majority of the races this season. So we have...
He hasn't finished since season 12, round 8 in France.
What?
And bearing in mind he's only missed 2 races between then and now, so...
Alex, do us proud. You have to finish. I promised him to give him a PSN wallet of like £10 if he does finish. So, and I'm not backing out on that. So, Alex, mate, please do, because otherwise, you're gonna have a lot to live up to. So, he's 8th for the moment, though, so not bad. He's doing good for himself, and it's one of those tracks that he enjoys. And if he wants to do well, it is his home race, and there's a lot of the drivers' home race as well, so we're looking to see quite a lot of people out, and one person that's starting their final race of One Hub Racing tonight is Jamie in the Red Bull. He is P3 in the championship. Don't forget, Red Bull has won the constructors last time out because it's based on all 4 tiers this season, and Jamie has contributed to a lot of that. He got his first podium this season, and he's got his first win, so I wonder how he's going to do. He's going to stay with us. He's going to be head of teams, I believe, isn't he? But, yeah, he's done very well this season.
Yeah, continue doing that job.
Yeah, he's done very well this season, and very proud of him that he's accomplished so much in his final season. So it'll be interesting to see what he can do.
Yeah, if you haven't listened to any of his videos, then definitely do so when he crosses the line.
I have.
Screen, so,
I have, and I was delighted.
Pretty nice to see.
Yeah, it's just like, it just goes to show when you win a race, or even if you get your first point or podium, just to see the reaction on the guy's face is just absolutely amazing. He absolutely wants it. So yeah, as for some of these guys as well. So I wonder if we'll see similar reactions to some of the other guys tonight as well. So we've got 8 minutes left to go. Let us know your predictions in the chat on who you think's gonna get pole tonight, and who you think's gonna win the championship fight. Is it gonna be Josh, or is it gonna be Ian? Now Ian's ahead of Josh at the moment, but Josh has got to finish 9th to not being a chance with Ian winning. So Josh has had some good races, so he's gonna be tight as well. Scanny doing well in P2, so some very good qualifying times at the moment. And I don't know what the weather is at the moment, so we'll have to wait and see, but it's looking really dry, so these tyres are going to be very hot going towards the end, considering last year's real life season was the same. So you never know, we may get similar conditions like we did today in this really heat wave we've got. It's boiling in my room. I don't know if it's boiling in your room, but it must be hot in Silverstone.
Yeah, absolutely. I hope it's this weather when I go to Silverstone in 2 weeks, because otherwise I'll be pretty upset if we get rain or something like that.
I hope we don't get rain. I was gonna go, but my job interview's then, so I had to cancel my ticket sadly. But we've got a few people in the pits. Ian is going into the pits. I'm just seeing who we could potentially go on a lap. No, Alt is on this in lap. Gazza, I think, could be potentially on one. He's in the Red Bull as he's going towards Stone now. As he brakes, you only have to brake slightly in that corner to get a better exit. As he's running out of fuel. Nope, he's going into the pits as well. Typical. Let's see who else. Yeah, literally everyone's going into the pits right now. Alex is on his in lap as well, so it's a quiet time at the moment. I think we're seeing a lot of people get their laps invalidated this early on, so not a good sign. But the best part of qualifying is usually the last few minutes. This is where they start to get the hammer down, the track starts to evolve, and that's what people are waiting for.
Yeah, it's also the quickest part as well. The track's obviously rubbered in the most by the end of the qualifying session, so when drivers be able to extract the most out of their car. Ian's currently in 3rd position at the moment, just ahead of his title rival Josh, and Scanny's on pole position at the moment, so a good lap from him with Riley sitting in 2nd. But Ian's on a quicker lap now, so he looks to close the gap between the top 2 at the moment, but I expect more to come from Josh as well.
Yep, Josh is known for his faster lap time, so he's on a flyer now, so let's just see if we can follow him. We're going towards Copse Corner, almost forgot the name there. In some of the layouts, actually, Copse Corner is usually the first one. It's only quite recently, about 5 or 6 years ago, where Copse Corner isn't the first corner. So in some of the games, you have to get used to that. But in most of the games for Formula 1, it started with Copse not being the first corner. But anyway, Josh is going through the long straight here, and is he slowing down, or is he going on a lap?
Yeah, he's slowing down. I'm not sure if he's about to start a lap or if he's coming in. No, he's about to start a lap. So let's ride on board with him. And although 23 points, I imagine he'll be under pressure to make sure that Ferrari stays well away from curbs, barriers, grass, and other cars.
Yeah, because you never know. We could see a big bottle from Josh, and that will put Ian back in the title fight. So you never know what comes from Josh. So Josh will still be under pressure. It's not plain sailing for Josh. It's not plain sailing for any of the guys in the other tiers, Position and Pinnacle, that still got championships to decide tonight. So I wonder what the drivers in those tiers will be thinking as well. So Josh will be feeling the pressure as he goes towards the start of sector 2 now, taking that long right-hander coming up soon as well. He's got to take it very, very easy at the moment. He is running out of VRS though, so he might have pushed it a little bit too much. Maybe his last lap before got invalidated, so that's why he was slowing towards Stowe earlier, so he can get the best possible run to get his final lap in. So you never know, as he's just gone past Copse Corner now, as he's going through the long Maggotts and Beckett's and Chapel. Don't go full throttle there, because otherwise we see a lot of cars start to bottle it a lot here. As we've got 3 minutes 36 left to go of qualifying. Go through the hammer straight now, going in to Stowe. I need to get my corners right. There we go. There was a little bit of a slide from Josh, but he's going
to come in, isn't he?
Yeah, he's running out of fuel as well. There was no way he was going to get there and get another lap in, and he knows if he gets a lap in now, and then if he doesn't get pole, then he's not going to make it to the pits in time. So best call for him, I think, as he's got one more chance to see if he can beat his rivals and potentially get pole.
Yeah, he was 3 temps down actually coming onto the hangar straight. So yeah, I think he obviously wanted to try that lap. He had the time to do so, so he'll be probably the last driver to cross the line. He'll still be, imagine, just waiting for his monitor to come down in his car, and then he'll be able to select a new set of tyres, make sure his fuel's adequate, and head back out for one final run. But you have to say, pressure's on for Josh. 7 tenths off pole at the moment. It's not like him, but nevertheless, D-Boy Dan, he was the other driver up for driver of the day. He lost 59 to 41%. So will he be able to do it this time out? Searching for his podium at One Hub Racing, and truly deserving. His pace being really good this season compared to season 12. It's improved a lot. So yeah, 1.3 seconds cover the top 9. Aaron has retired from the session, so I'm not sure if he was on that lap and lost the car, but either way, he won't be taking any farther part in the session. And as you mentioned, Stowe, it's definitely one of my favourite corners in Formula 1.
Me too.
The way you can just chuck the car in.
Yeah, and it is really high speed as well. So that as well. I've seen a lot of overtakes in Stowe, in particular last season in some of the other tiers that I was watching, and in other leagues as well. So I think that's the corner I'm very looking forward to as well. So everyone is going in on their outlaps at the moment to start their final session. Riley's still in the pits at the moment in second place. And just to point out, we are sponsored by Next Level Racing, who provides so many good equipment for us, and I highly recommend that you do check it out, because it is amazing, and they've been sponsoring us for quite a while now. So I need to get the code to find out what you need to do to get a discount due to One Hub. But anyway,
yeah, tweeted it out earlier today, so it's One Hub 10. Head over to our Twitter and check out the link for the UK site. Obviously they deliver all around the world, which is great. They just released a new wheel stand as well.
Nice.
They released it at E3 a couple weeks ago, so I was following E3 and they had their own stand there, and had F1 set up. So yeah, they're getting more and more involved in Formula 1 from what I can see, and obviously yeah, it's really good to be sponsored by them, and you know their stuff as well. It's not cheap stuff. It's yeah, it's quite sturdy, and Scani just messes up there at the end of Stowe. He's backing off. Will he have enough fuel? He won't be able to start. He won't be able to have a full lap of hers, though. That's for sure.
Nope, he's not. He's on 57%, so that's really going to cost him. And Riley's still in the pits. I think the only people that could beat him is Ian and Josh. So Riley, I think, he's opting to go for those tyres for the race, because don't forget, if you are in the top 10, you have to start on the tyres that you qualified on. And the only person at the moment that's going to have free choice of tyres, I think, is Faz. But Aaron hasn't set a lap, so I think he has free choice of tyres as well, as far as I believe as well. So the checker flag has fallen then, as Ian is going just past Vale now, as he's going to come across the line. He needs to beat Josh to stand a chance in winning this championship. Can he do it? He's second. That's a good lap from him.
Oh, that was close.
That was close, so 34 thousandths. And Scanny is on 30% as he's going through Maggots and Beckett. I'm seeing is anyone third on the lap. Jamie is. He's going through Stowe right now. He approached that very well, and he's got plenty of ERS, so he's going to potentially get that through. He's going to potentially get a tow from his teammate. Actually, no, not quite, because he's a little bit too further behind. Gathered in 7th, and we're going to come across the line. Can Jamie improve? He improves.
Josh has backed off.
Who's backed off?
So championship leader Josh is going to start in 6th position. I believe that's the lowest position he started all season.
Wow.
As Scanny goes even quicker at the top on that lap with 59% ERS, did you say, or 57% ERS?
Yeah.
So well done to him. That was a good lap time. But yeah, Josh down in 6th position with his teammate just behind him in 7th. He jumped up to 7th at the last moment there.
Wow. So Josh must have got invalidated or something like that, but Scanny and Ian separated by 0.2 per second, so Scanny was pretty much on pole for pretty much about 5 minutes of the session, and he deserves it. He's shown good pace in Silverstone, and he will do very well going into the race, I must say so, the Williams driver. So he's got a point to prove in the last race, and as he's collided with an AI there, wasn't expecting that, but there we go. So the final race then should be an absolute cracker here in the podium tier. They still got a lot to live up to. And if they win the final race, then that's going to really help them next season. Here are your results then for qualifying. We've got Scanny from Ian, from Riley in 3rd, Gadza in 4th, Jamie in 5th, Josh in 6th, Oles in 7th, D-Boy Dan in 8th, Alex in 9th, and free choice of tyres will be Aaron in 10th and Faz in 11th. Just a quick reminder, Ian has to win tonight, with Josh scoring 9th or lower for Ian to take the title. If that doesn't happen, Josh will take the title. So if the standings stay as they are when it gets to the end of the race, Josh will still claim the title. So Ian has got to make one place, with Josh dropping a few places for him to stand a chance. So what are your predictions?
Well, I mean, if I was Josh, I'd be sitting there a little bit worried. It's sunshine, so that's probably going to make him feel a little bit better. But yeah, right in the middle of the grid, you know, racing with obviously 10 other drivers, nothing to lose. As you mentioned, the game cycle's come to an end, the new game's out. But I know none of them want to be involved with any drama with the championship contenders. But yeah, definitely not the place he'd like to be. And I imagine a few butterflies will be rumbling around. And although he's got one hand on the trophy, perhaps that hand's just come a little bit sweaty.
I would be nervous if I was them. I will be shaking in my boots, to be honest. Even if you're 23 points clear of the championship, you can't afford to lose this. Josh has got the most to lose in this situation, whereas Ian has got the most to gain. But we have seen some surprises here at One Hub Racing, so you never know. So I'm going to see if anyone's changed their tyres. The only one that's changed their tyres is Aaron, who is on the mediums. That will be very intriguing for a two-stop. So I think he will want to go a long first stint, and then go on to a South Soft for a short second stint, and then for the final stint, go on possibly to another South Soft. You never know. I don't see any blue hards, which I'm gutted about, because that's one of the best looking tyres on the game. But we may see in other tiers, you never know. But yeah, Scanny on pole, Ian in 2nd. Ian has got to have a masterclass for a race if he wants to keep this championship alive. And we got Gazza in 4th as well. And we got a Red Bull doing quite well in qualifying, 4th and 5th. They don't need to do anything though, because they won the constructors. So those title fights are over for them. But the fight for pretty much 3rd and 4th in the championship could potentially still be on the cards as well. I do believe Jamie's 3rd in the championship, I believe. So
yeah, he overtook Gaza last week, I believe, after Gaza had such a strong season in the opening 6 races, but around 5 races, and then I think it was around 6 and 7 he DNF'd both times. So yeah, not the end of the season Gaza would want, but if Jamie could get 3rd, he'd be a retiring happy man, that's for sure. But just to point out as well, Scanny did ready up first before the tier coordinator, so he'll be handed a standard 5-second time penalty by the stewards after the race. So yeah, it'd be interesting. So that makes Ian probably doesn't know it, but that makes his life just a little bit easier. But I'm going to be watching very closely on Josh, because yeah, 6th position. I know there's only 11 drivers, but and he's probably quicker than the majority behind, but it's still not a comfortable feeling, particularly heading into one of the fastest first corners on the calendar.
Yes, and the potential for pretty much anything to go wrong in turn 1. As long as people don't bottle it, we should be fine. And the engines are starting to rev up. The lights are about to come on. We are about to light them up, and we are ready to go. Scanny is on pole. Ian's in 2nd place, and let's go. And both of them's got a very good start, and Ian's dropped into 2nd place. For now, you must know about Scanny's 5-second penalty, as I think pretty much everyone's got a decent start into turn 1. Yes, they have. No calamities at the moment, as we are starting to see people trying to make their way up through the field. Fads has just dropped it with Aaron, as I do see a bit of debris from one of the cars that might have been from them, but not much change up the field. So still Scanny from Ian from Riley. And Fad is starting to lose quite a bit of ground. I think he must have had damage to his front wing. I'm not entirely sure. But Riley has gained quite a bit as well, as Scanny almost going a bit wide there. So that's allowing Ian to possibly get some slipstream. Go around the outside of Scanny into going towards Cop's corner. And he does it, and he takes the lead on track. And Riley has gone wide as well. So yes, good start from Ian there, as he needed to get that move done, which he did. But he probably didn't know that he didn't need to, but he's done it anyway.
Yeah, and look at that. Scanny going off into the grass. He's going to lose another position, 2 positions, so Gaza moves up as well. So I've done that before. It's so easy just to carry a bit too much speed through there, particularly on heavy fuel. And he's got Jamie all over the back. And look at the 2 Ferraris almost going side by side through Stowe. So I did notice that Josh didn't look too comfortable, and he's lost a bit of time compared to the top 5, and Oz has been over him, all over him the entire lap. So behind you've got D-Boy Dan and Rex having a fight. So Rex is surviving so far
struggling
as he completes.
He was weaving a little bit there. Oz almost overtook Josh, and I do see someone almost colliding into Oz of D-Boy Dan as well, as Alex is trying to make an audacious move into turn 3, I think it was, and couldn't quite do it. But is he going to try and make a move around this time, around the inside? Yes, but they were touching wheels a little bit, but that's Alex up into
not giving each other much space.
No, not at all. Oh, no, this is not what you want to do. This is not what you want to do. But I think he keeps it. It's going to be damage if these 2 boys keep fighting along like this. This is not how you want to end at all. So they got to keep it clean, because otherwise they could be sent to the stewards for the final race, and you really don't want that to happen, as D-Boy Dan could be on court. He had a very good race last week. We hope he doesn't have a bad race this week. Oh, they're touching! They're touching! Oh, God! No! This has gone from bad to worse for both Alex and Dan, as Dan
no damage to either car.
Oh, that was close though. They kept it together. Meanwhile, Josh has lost a place from Ols. So Ols is up into 6th place in the Ferrari then. So it looks like Josh's tyres is starting to catch up on him a little bit, as he's starting to lose a lot of grip.
Yeah, those nerves must be. Just think, 2 more places, Jess, and the championship he's been in such control over could be gone. It could be like Hamilton 2007, you know, where you're in such
Yes.
control. Look, he just looks so nervous, even taking turn one. So perhaps the thought of that championship is really getting to him at the moment. But yeah, he's already out of DRS of his teammate. Oz is packing on. Gazza's right behind the Mercedes of Riley at the moment, and you have to say, as they look like they're
Oh,
battling for position
as
into left field.
as Gazza and Riley almost touched again, just like Rex and D-Boy Dan did. As Gazza, I think, gets P2. We got Scanny that's dropped it down into 4. So Scanny not having the best of races at the moment, so he might be struggling for position as well, as Riley still holds on only just to P3. I'm just seeing who has gained the most positions on the start, which I think Ian's gained 1 and Gazza and Aaron have gained the most for 2, so they had a good start. But our biggest loser really was Scanny, and also D-Boy Dan that's just got a 3-second time penalty, which is not how you want to start your Silverstone race. So potential battles to go at this opening stint of the race, and when these guys will pit, I don't know. That's what I like about these 2 stops. Anything can happen, and they could pit on whichever lap that they want to, as long as they do it in the specified time.
Yeah, the interesting thing is Josh comes into the pits already, so he's fed up with those tyres. Perhaps he did 2 qualifying laps on them, which is why maybe he's suffering a bit. But one thing I found interesting, and I'd be interested to see whether Josh loses out here. The undercut doesn't work too much around Silverstone. If he's putting the mediums on, no, he's putting the hards on.
Yes!
So
yes! I know a lot of people are like that.
You get to see those good-looking tyres, but on the medium tyre, Jess, the undercut doesn't really work because you obviously have to get them up to temperature, and with such high-speed corners, you lose quite a bit of grip. So to put the hards on, this outlap, Jess, is going to be absolute. Look, he almost lost it out the pits. He's going to have no temperature in those tyres.
It takes a while.
Josh could fall out of the top 8 here.
Yeah. Could this be the day where Josh is losing so much? He's under so much pressure, and could this be where he bottles it? I really hope that he fights positions to stand in with a chance. Otherwise, it's game over for Josh there. And I wonder if he wants to stretch out that stint so he can push on to the rest of the field. But we're starting to see Jamie and Oles fighting for 5th place as Oles goes around the inside into Stone. What a move from Oles as he gets into 5th. Maybe not. Jamie gets a switch back. Goes around the outside of Oles going into Vale. And Jamie holds on and re-gets P5 for now. But some good battling from the Ferrari and the Red Bull. Sensational stuff. I'm just seeing if there's anyone going on midway through the field. No, it's not.
Oles gets the little bit of downforce that disappears when you're that close to behind a car into Avi, turn 1. One thing to point out, these 2 were teammates last season. They made contact in Brazil in qualifying the round opener of season 13, and they made contact, I believe, again during the season. So no strangers are these 2 to having a good battle out on track. But yeah, I think with D-Boy Dan closing in on Rex again, if you look at a driver like Aaron, who's on the alternate strategy, you have to say he's better positioned now than Josh is. So it's hard to call what net positions drivers are in, as Riley's all over the back of Gazza. He goes wide at Cops. That's the third time I think I've seen him do that. So he's already got 1 penalty, and I wonder if he'll be adding to that shortly. But he's definitely taking a little bit more speed through here. Gazza set the fastest lap last time out. Scanny's hanging on to them as well. Oles is still on the back of Jamie, but the Mercedes man, one of our favourite corners, just comes down the inside. Gazza doesn't put up too much of a fight. A little bit of contact wheel to wheel there, but I think Gazza gave up the ghost there, and yeah, he's coming into the pit. So the interesting thing about this 2-stop, Jess, is when I did some practice for this with some of the team before the start of the season, this was the race that was the most trickiest to decide, in my opinion, what tyre to go on, because as I mentioned, the pit lane's so long, and the undercut doesn't always work as well as the overcut because of how difficult it is to heat up the tyres. There's also not a lot of difference between the medium and the soft, particularly over a stint. So will we see 2 softs and a medium? Will we see a soft and 2 mediums? Either way, Josh has gone for the hards.
Yep, so we've seen all 3 tyres used so far in this Grand Prix. As Aaron, the only guy on the mediums, he's gone into the pit and he's going on to a set of softs. A bit earlier than I thought it was going to be, but maybe his mediums were trying to get up to temperature, but unfortunately he couldn't get it up and he wants to go on the ones with the most grip. So that puts Josh into... Oh no, Fad is getting holed up in the pit lane on my screen. That is not what you want to do. As we got Riley and Scanny still fighting, and Scanny, I think, whilst people are going into the pits, Scanny has just overtaken Riley for P2, which is great stuff for them. Riley could be fighting again, as Riley's got DRS on Scanny going towards Stowe. He's going to get the outside. Oh, they touch. There's a
Contact.
that is contact. That's Scanny. I don't think Scanny's got any damage, but what about Riley? Scanny's going into the pits now, as Riley is going again for another lap. So
Jamie in as well.
Yeah.
Ols continues on, so he'll be up into the podium positions very shortly. That will cost Riley a bit of time. Not only is he going to have to change his wing, but he's going to have to do a whole lap with that. I think it's only a little bit of end plate damage, but nevertheless, it's definitely going to cost him. Meanwhile, Josh is in 9th position at the moment, so not the place he needs to finish to win this championship. Remember, if Josh doesn't finish in the top 8, and Ian wins this race, then Ian will be champion. So, although 23 points separate those guys, yeah, it's definitely a nervy finish.
Yeah, I think what Josh wants to do is he wants to stretch it out as long as possible.
D-Boydan's off.
Oh no, D-Boydan. Oh, how? I almost got the name wrong as he's starting to struggle. Jamie's out.
Jamie C's come back onto the track, and Jamie's gone straight into him and retired.
I didn't see that. I literally didn't see that. Let me just go
Josh moves up into 8th position.
Oh, it must have been through Cop. Oh, yes, that was
just on the exit of turn 1. So, not a way for Jamie to end his career. But I don't think D-Boydan obviously meant to do that. It's just you come round turn 1 and 2, don't you? And it's just blind. You can't really see what's in front of you, but nevertheless, extreme disappointment will be written all over Jamie's face.
It is a shame because it was his final race, and it's not a way to end it, as we've got D-Boydan. He's losing his front wing. He's lost quite significant downforce, so we'll have to pit soon. But good thing about the 2 stops is pitting when you got damage doesn't make a huge difference unless they're pitting around about the same time. So he's got a lot of coming back to do, and that's gonna put Josh still in a very good position actually, due to a lot of these guys having issues. So that's what Josh is hoping for right now. Is Ols in the pits. Ian, he's staying in the lead, which is what he wants, and that puts Gaza into P2 with Scanny P3. I'm just going to check as everyone made their stops. We've still got Alex and D-Boydan to make their stops, and Riley, but they are making their stops now. So everyone has stopped, and D-Boydan has got a 5-second stop go penalty. He's got a lot of penalties this race. He's had a good race last week, and this week he is out. So he's not going to get driver of the day this week because he's out the race. So that is not how you want to end your final race in the podium tier for this season.
No, it definitely isn't, and D-Boydan's left this session as well. He's retired because he got another virtual safety car.
Wow.
So, there we go, just to spice things up even more. Is anyone near the pits? I'm going to cash in on a free pit stop.
Everyone is pitted,
so... Yeah. Unless they were going to stop again and go into hards.
That could work. That could work. You never know.
Could save you a lot of time, but the virtual safety car doesn't usually stay out for long, does it, Jess? So
no, only stays out for like 4 or 5 corners, maybe. It depends how far long it takes for the car to be cleared. You never know. So on the final race in the podiums here, we get a safety car of some sort, and Ian's gone past the pits. He's not gonna take advantage of the hards. Leader is Gaza. Scanny's staying out, and so I believe Ols as well. So I don't think they want to risk that, as the hards do take a long time to warm up, as DRS enabled. So anyone past Ols thinking they were going to pit now, they're probably going to take disadvantage of that. But luckily it's not, as Josh and Alex having a little bit of a battle with Aaron as well, as Rex goes around the inside. of Aaron as they almost made contact again, but this time it was just a bit of banging wheels and looks like they're okay as Alex has made another position and he's now up into 7th place. Is this the furthest he's made in the race?
Took Gaza there as well. This is, I don't think it's the furthest, but you have to say this is the highest position he's been running in for most of the season. So if he was to retire from here, I imagine he'd be pretty disappointed. The thing I don't understand about Josh on those hards is that every driver behind and in front of him is going to be quicker than him.
Yeah.
The entire stint, because even 10-lap-old mediums will be quicker than, you know, he'll be on his... Oh, down a dive bomb goes Aaron down the inside of Alex. Rex, sorry, gives him room. Little bit of contact there. Little bit of a kind of a half spin, and these two fighting, although it is the last race.
Yeah, they got nothing to fight for. They're out of the championship fight, so why not? Some of these guys could go for ambitious moves, but as long as they don't interfere with the championship battle, that will be fine as well. But Scani could really come into play here. He's 3.5 seconds behind Ian. Ian doing a very great job right now, pulling away from the rest of the field. This is definitely giving him a confidence boost. He's going to hope that Josh is going to suffer from any more problems, as he's potentially could go on with his title maybe, but you never know. Strange things have happened, as he's going to try and increase the gap a little bit, as Gaz is closing up to Scani still, and we're starting to see people potentially thinking about their next stops early on as well, because they can pit any time as well, but as long as they do pit twice, that is absolutely fine. We haven't seen anyone in this tier fall into the disqualification, which is good news. Hopefully we won't see anyone today fall in this tier. Looks like they are all doing well for that, as Aaron is already starting to gain some ground on Josh, so maybe Josh has definitely made a hard gamble, if you like, on putting those hards on, but he will have to pit again anyway, and I wonder what tyres he will go on if he wants to stay in this championship.
The only thing I can think, Jess, is that he selected the softer tyre strategy at the start, which meant he only had one mediums, which means if he did want to pit early off those softs, he couldn't do medium to medium, but otherwise, you know, softs, even if you pit on lap 2 or 3, 2 mediums will take you nicely to the end of the race.
Yeah.
But yeah, I guess we won't know until after the race and see what he says. Ian stretches his legs for the fastest lap of the race, and yeah, as you mentioned, Aaron's closing in on Josh, and Josh is falling away from Riley, so those tyres I don't think are the ones to be on, especially being that he's now been on them the longest.
Yep, then Josh is going to hope that Aaron and Alex keep fighting for him to still stand a chance of taking the title, which they are still hard, to be fair, and they are still having a little bit of a hargy-bargy at the moment, but at least they're still on the track and keeping it together. So if these guys finish, that will still be an achievement in itself. Due to the fact Jamie and D-Boy Dan have retired, if you finish, you get points. So that's one advantage of having a low turnout. You will get points no matter what. But yes, we're on lap 11. We're almost halfway into this Grand Prix in 2 laps time, so they will pretty much be going on to the last 13 laps of Ron Hub Racing on season 13 in the podium tier, as Gaza is about 4 tenths behind Scani. Scani's made a mistake going into Chapel, as Gaza's going to take the outside line, and he does it very easily there, and he's up into P2. Scani's going to have another look around the outside potentially. No, not quite, as a little bit of bargy again there going through Vale there, as Gaza goes round the inside. Scani holds on to the outside line. Can Scani get position 3-2 back? No, not quite. Scani might have another look here going into turn 1, potentially. Nope, he backs out of it, and Gaza takes P2.
Yeah, Gaza, I don't think was expecting to come back down the inside. He got such a poor run, did Scani, but the straight line speed on that Williams here tonight is pretty impressive. So he's obviously set his car up to do plenty of overtaking. So as he heads down here into Brooklands, is he going to do it on the brakes? Yeah, and Gaza goes wide, gives him room. He's going to have the inside to left field, which is one of those long corners, inside, outside. You never really know which line's quickest. And look at that, Scanny goes around the outside. So he got the position back, has Scanny almost a lap later, but these two, you have to feel, are going to have a race-long battle. Just to let you know, in the last lap and a half, Aaron's closed it in 3 seconds
Wow.
on Josh. So just to show you, he's flying on those soft tyres, and you have to say he'll probably put the mediums on after that, will Aaron, and go to the end. So I expect Aaron to perhaps finish ahead of Josh here, but I don't want to ruin the title fight, but I think if Ian finishes in first and Josh still gets ninth, where only one phase is, Josh would win on countback. But yeah, it'd be interesting. So all Josh really needs to do now, with the two that have finished, retired, sorry, is just finish the race. But he's not looking comfortable still.
No, he's not. He could make a mistake, and that is what you don't want to happen, like we've seen with Jamie and D-Boy down earlier on as well. And it's nice to see Gazza and Scanny still fighting for position, and that's allowing Ian to pull up a good gap, a 7-second gap, which will put him well ahead of the pit stops. And speaking about Aaron and Josh, I will probably predict that Josh is going to pit pretty much when Aaron gets past him, potentially, to go on the mediums, as Gazza gets past, tries to fend off Scanny again, and keeps on into Luffield, going past that, as Scanny makes a bit of a mistake again, but they're still fighting, which is good to see. That'll be a good points haul for Red Bull if they keep it together like this. And it could be Gazza might retake. Oh, Gazza's bombed it, and he's out. Oh, did I just do a jinx? Oh yeah, I just did a jinx. I was about to say Gazza couldn't get P3.
Cursed him.
Yeah, I did. Sorry, mate. So Jamie will get P3 in the title fight.
Yeah, to be fair to Gazza, he won't be the first and he won't be the last driver to lose the car there. But when you do, as I mentioned, Jess, early on the stream, with such high-speed corners, if you lose the car, you've got no hope with all this grass and gravel. And too right the way it should be on some of today's tracks. Obviously, it's all just AstroTurf. Sorry, not AstroTurf, AstroTurf, and then just plain old cement. But yeah, Oll's up into third position in the other Ferrari, ahead of Riley, who's in fourth, and Josh now into the top 5. So looking more comfortable for Josh as the drivers end their race. But Alex is still in it, so keep an eye on him as well.
Yes. I will probably be broke by the end of this stream if he finishes. So, but I did not break. I'm not gonna break a promise. So I hope he does finish. But that means on Josh, that's gonna put less pressure on him, because if he finishes, he takes the title. So that's gonna concentrate on him getting his tyres to the end. And as long as he finishes, he's gonna take the title by only a few points. So as long as he nurses his tyres home and doesn't get involved in any collisions, he should be fine. But we can see Aaron already closing up to Josh. And Aaron is usually a bit feisty at times. So we're hoping Aaron doesn't get involved in too many incidents with Josh this race, hopefully. Or Josh may decide to pit early before they even go onto the battle. We'll have to wait and see. Lap 14 now. And we're already lost 3 drivers, which is not bad considering we only got 11 drivers, and in some other tiers we lost a lot more at this stage of the race. So we're seeing a lot of clean drivers already, as we got our Ian and Scanny. They're going on to their final stops of the race, probably mediums. I do see mediums going on to, I think, Scanny's car, I believe. Let me just see. Yeah, Ian's car's going on to mediums, I think. So is Scanny as well. Yeah, they're both going on mediums, which should take it to the end of the race. And Riley will pit potentially soon as well. And that puts, I think, Ian is going to be in the net lead. Yes, he is. And he comes out just ahead of Josh.
Look at this, though. When you think about it this way, Josh is first of all under attack from Aaron. Josh is usually outpacing Ian and Scanny in this tier throughout most of the season. Look at him fighting the car on those hard tyres. So just shows you Ian has gained a whole pit stop. So his tied rival that he's 23 points ahead of has gained a whole pit stop on him.
And Aaron almost goes past Josh. As Josh goes a switch back round the outside on the hard tyres, you can see he's struggling, and Aaron easily gets that position into left field. So there we go. Aaron is into fourth. So Josh will probably have to think, right, if I want to get to the end and want to catch up to these guys, I have to go onto the medium tyres. And I think that's what he's thinking. Or will he stretch out a bit more and go onto the softs? He could do anything as long as he finishes and as long as he doesn't bottle it. So, yes, he had a little bit of trouble at the beginning, but he's starting to, I think he's starting to enjoy himself a little bit more, but we'll have to wait and see. Oles is in the pits, Josh's teammate, so Josh won't be pitting this lap unless Oles comes out earlier on. But the pit lane is quite long here in Silverstone, so you never know. They could do the double. You never know. As Oles is going on. Oh, did he get a stop go? I think he did. He is. He's going on to a set of the mediums. As he's going on to that, as Josh is staying out.
What happened there? Did something happen with Scanny? Josh has got a penalty. Did something happen with Scanny and
I don't know.
Rex
I didn't
there?
see that.
Rex is coming into the pits now. He's only been on those mediums for 7 laps. I think there's something went on there.
That might have been contact from both of them. I don't know, but we'll see if when Alex gets into the pits. So here we go. Front wing change. So there must be contact that we've not seen. So he wants to get to the end of this race.
Scanny's lost so much time, Jess. He was only 5 seconds behind Josh. He's now 15 almost. So there was incident between Scanny and Rex there. I believe on the exit or into Stone, somewhere around there. So Rex able to come in. Scanny looks like he's escaped with no damage on that Williams. Hard to tell exactly, but
I think he's all right. Otherwise, it would have flashed red on the. I think it looks like he's got a bit of damage, but I think it's only minor, so he can go into the end on that. I've had that experience in Silverstone before. I was able to get to the end when I was doing career mode, so I'm sure Scanny should be fine. But he is pacing himself a little bit. He is slowing down a little bit, so potentially he might have lost a little bit of downforce. As Aaron goes into the pits for his second stop as well. As we still got Riley, he's going to try and push his mediums on for a little bit more as well. Scanny stays out, so I don't think the damage is that serious for him to make a serious dive into the pits. But it's not going to do his medium tyres any good, I can tell you that.
Alrighty, the precision tier will be live shortly. You've got Kieran and Luke in the commentary box for that one. A bit of a bigger grid, as I mentioned. Yeah, I think there's 18 or 17 I'm hearing. So, yeah, and the championship there is between Westy and White Fountain. So both drivers beginning with a W. And they're separated by just a point. And they've got the same amount of wins, the same amount of second places. So yeah, it's I'm looking forward to see who comes out. Both drivers would be deserving if they were to take the championship. Well, one of them will. So yeah, good luck to all the drivers in the precision tier, which will be going live shortly. But yeah, I recommend everyone after this one, yeah, to see who comes out on top. But here we go. As Scanny perhaps does have wing damage, also loses the car, but saves it. Doesn't have wing damage, doesn't look obviously as comfortable on those tyres. As I said, they're so hard to heat up here, Jess.
Yeah.
The harder the compound you go, your outlap is often slower than your staying out for an extra lap, the overcut. So Ian looks comfortable. Obviously Riley yet to stop again. Josh as well, currently in 3rd positions, still on those hard tyres now for 14 laps he's been on them, so you expect him to come in and perhaps fit the soft compound at the end, and he'll be flying towards the finish. But let's hope he doesn't have some sort of contact with the wall, because as we've already seen here tonight, it can swiftly end your race.
Yeah, like we've seen with the 2 Red Bulls and the Haas as well. So we want to end this on a fair fight. We don't want the championship to be decided with someone going into a wall. So let's hope these two can still fight it out to the bitter end, because these two have definitely been well deserving of one of them will take the crown. Will it be the Toro Rosso or will it be the Ferrari? It is looking like to be in Ferrari's favour for Josh at the moment, but only time will tell. Was on lap 18 out of 26. as we've got all 3 tyres being used for the final part, with Josh potentially going onto the softs towards the end. So it'll be interesting to see if any of these guys can gain more positions, as Aaron could potentially gain 5th for Moles if he could catch up easier soon as well. But the softs do tend to heat up. It is tricky to overcome as well, because usually a 1-stop is hard in Silverstone, let alone a 2-stop. So but it might change on the next gate. So obviously on the next gate it is only softs, mediums and hards, so they're not going to worry about different tyre strategies at all much for this stint anyway. So they don't have to worry about the hypers, the ultras. So it was the last time we saw the ultras in Austria, believe it or not. So that's sad. That is sad. But it is going to be less confusing for us commentators, I must say.
Yeah, it definitely will be. But yeah, something the 2-stop obviously we introduced just for this season. Obviously we always try and play around with the format a little bit on our shortened season. Who's off now? Scanny's off.
Yeah,
So our pole sitter is
yeah.
off at turn 3, I think that is. So struggling in that Williams ever since he had that contact with Rex. Well, we think something happened with Rex, and Aaron is pretty close behind now. Obviously the only driver to start on the medium here today. And we'll finish this race on the soft tyre, we presume. Alex still in this race, so we're not going to
Scanny!
commentate
He's
this
at the
person.
wall! That must be a bit of damage coming from his car now. And he's out of the session.
He's done.
No. I could see he was losing grip on those mediums, and I think it was due to that contact with Alex. And his tyres must have got hit. I'm sure of it. So that's probably affected his grip as well. So another virtual safety car as well. I'm just seeing if Riley's near the pit window. He's gone past the pits. Josh has gone past the pits as well. Josh has
literally just gone past as well.
Josh could have used it to his advantage.
I'm just going to say this. Josh does remember the 2-stop rule, doesn't he?
I hope so.
Because obviously the soft tyres will go no problem 6 laps. So
Josh, pit now. I mean it.
I hope he's got the stream on, and we've just reminded him, because we'd hate to see him disqualified from the final, because that's what will happen if you don't complete the 2-stop. It's happened once in the prestige tier. If you don't complete the 2-stop, you will be disqualified by the race stewards afterwards. So
that was Germany, I believe. Yeah, it was Germany.
Yeah, it was Samu, wasn't it? I think were you commentating? It was definitely the prestige tier.
Yeah, it was me and Luke. It was a few weeks ago, and I was like, how did he not pit? And then I suddenly realised he had 1 stop, and I was like, oh no. And yeah, he did get DQ from that. But that would have been some good points for him, so it's a shame. So hopefully we won't see Josh getting a DQ after that. So hopefully he has remembered. I hope his teammate will... I'm sure their teammates will be in a party together. I'm sure Oles will be bagging on him, saying, pit now, pit now, pit now. But Josh has got to remember for himself, really. You can't really rely on your teammates to tell you to pit, because you know about your tyres, not your teammates. But we'll have to wait and see. But I don't...
Only one phase in the points, by the way. This will be her highest finish of the season if she's able to finish in 7th position. A lap down, but nevertheless, every point is still earned, whether you're on the racing lap or the lap behind.
She's not giving up, isn't she? She's still running, and
no, she isn't.
That is a good. That's where I usually end up in the race. Usually last of the finishers. So we have something in common, and the best thing in common is to not give up. You could get some decent points, and that is what she is doing. And well done to her. You know, she's not letting the bad stuff phase her a little bit, and she's been avoiding contact all race. So that is one way to look at it. So well done to Faz as well, as Alex could be on with his decent points finish of the season, if he doesn't bottle it and go into a wall. So please stay where you are. Is Josh pitted? No, he's not. I think he's forgotten, and we don't want that to happen. So he's got to do it in the next couple of laps.
Yeah, I don't understand why he's done this strategy. You know, it's I don't know, it just doesn't make sense. But you know, as long as he, as you said, as long as he finishes this race now, he'll be champion. So just don't lose it, don't bin it, and don't get disqualified for not two-stopping. So perhaps he just wants to entertain us, Jess. He's going to pit on the penultimate lap. Lap 20,
yeah.
25 out of 26, just to keep us on our toes.
I didn't know you could do
but
that.
surely he'd like to finish. Yeah, so you can pit on the penultimate lap, and then complete the lap on a set of tires, because it will count as you've completed one lap on them.
All right, okay.
Even though it's kind of like an out lap, the game registers it as you've completed a lap.
So basically, lap 24, end of lap 24, is that when you got a pit by?
No, so you can pit end of lap 25, and then lap 26 will still count as a lap on that set of tires.
I think
Same
Josh
as
will
if
do that.
you were behind a safety car, you could pit behind a safety car to use up an extra stop, because although it's not a racing lap, it's the game will register as you've completed a lap on the tires. The only thing obviously that was mentioned about the two-stop rule was that you couldn't pit on the last lap.
Yes, and knowing these guys, I think if it's a race to forget to do a two-stop, it would be tonight, since most people have got the new game and they're used to doing one-stop. So knowing them, they'll probably forget it in their heads to do it. But I'm sure most of these guys will be constantly be reminded, do the two-stop, do this two-stop, especially when there's a championship on the line. So please, Josh, pit when you can, because otherwise there will be some consequences. We don't see some big battles on track at the moment, so potentially just making sure these guys get to the end as well. I am just seeing if anyone else has done. Riley could be under threat as well. Riley hasn't pitted either, so Riley's got to pit in the next few laps as well. So he's going to go on the softs, I believe, for the end. So he's going to come out in front of Josh. He's going to come in front of Josh anyway. So he's still going to get P2. So I don't know why he's waiting to pit. So, we'll see how he does.
Has Riley forgotten? Because he's only done one race in the league. He did two-stop. He did two-stop last week, so he knows the rule. But yeah, he'd be bitterly disappointed. He could have finished the season with second and second, but I don't understand why. Unless no one's got any soft tires left, Jess, for some reason, but I'm not too sure. I don't know why.
I don't know.
Josh is the one making me really nervous.
Yeah, I'm nervous. I'm more nervous for Josh. I'm more nervous for Josh because could this be the race where he bottles the championship because he forgotten to stop? So, if anyone's in a party with him, someone remind him, please.
He's done 6 rounds of the 7 so far this season. He missed the first race, and he's two-stopped them all. He's won 4 races, I think, out of those 6. So he's definitely knows how to win and two-stop. So perhaps he's just trying to keep us on the knife edge. But we've got nothing against Ian winning the championship. It's just we'd hate to see it be decided by a disqualification from the stewards.
Yeah. So he's got this lap and next lap to do it, and he's going to do it the next lap. He's going to get it fighting on our toes at the moment. So, oh my God, this is going to be on biting edge. I don't know what Ian will be thinking right now, because if this turns out the way it could, if Josh gets disqualified, Ian can win the title by about
2 points.
2 points.
2 points he'll win it by. Yeah.
This is why I don't want the championship to end like this. I want the championship to end if some of these guys are still fighting. So, but we could see a battle between Aaron potentially as well with Ols. So this could potentially be a good battle to watch until the end as well. And I gotta say, these guys, even though it's only a few turned out, some of these guys are definitely giving us a good race to end on. And we've seen some highs and we've seen some lows as well. So we've got to see is Aaron could potentially get P4 from Ols as well. Ols has drove very well this race.
What's Riley going to do, Jess? Is he going to come into the pits? This is the thing. Is he going to come in, or is he going to?
Yes, thank the Lord.
Coming on lap 24. So will this click to Josh now? If Josh wasn't going to do it already, will this click to him?
Right.
It's almost as though they're racing for the fastest lap.
Let's go on board with him. Let's say it's probably his plan all along.
No! Nope.
Oh no!
So wait, Josh hasn't started lap 25 yet, has he? So
Yeah, he has. I'm sure, has he? I don't
he
know.
has, yeah. No, Ian, so this is...
He got one more lap to do it. Riley has done it. He I could breathe
No, I
easy
don't
for
think,
Riley.
Jess, I don't think... I'm sure Josh can't pit on the last lap, I don't believe.
No.
I will double check the rules, just to bring you confirmation.
Will it still show that you've done a lap on those tyres though?
Let's have a quick look, because the rules were written purposely. We looked at all options, just so if the event that something did happen, you know, all the rules were covered. So let's find out. Has Josh just thrown away? Well, I mean, if he doesn't pit this lap anyway, then he's definitely thrown away. But let me just check the rules here, Jess.
Well, no matter what happens, Ian's going to win the race. So, because he's got a 24-point gap, and unless he bottles it, which I hope he doesn't, he can plain sailing win this race. And I think he must be having a lot of fun right now, as Aaron has got a penalty, as Aaron and Oles are still having a battle right there as well. And Riley's not far behind his teammate as well, so Riley and Aaron could be on course to having a final lap battle. This could be interesting for these.
He's not coming in. Josh is not coming in. Josh is about to throw this championship.
Josh! No! So, out of...
Josh
Josh has
I'm sure he hasn't, unless we haven't missed him do a pit. So no, he's only done one stop. What has Josh done?
He has bottled the championship on the last
Ian
race.
is going to be champion. Ian is going to steal this championship. My goodness.
The Ferrari boys from all those tiers are not going to be too impressed for that. They're going to be in the chat saying, Josh, what have you done? And Josh is going to kick himself, realising that he had to do the two-stop. It would have worked in a one-stop situation, putting those hards to the end. He would have done a great job, but not this race, sadly, as we are going to ride on board with your champion in waiting. He's not going to know that Josh has been disqualified.
He's not going to know. He's not going to know until he crosses the line and sees in the chat everyone saying, Josh, you didn't two-stop. But he's dominated this race. And Jess, I'll let you talk us through the final couple of corners. Josh has thrown away a championship. Ian is about to become the Podium Tier Drivers Champion.
Yes, he is. He's going to come across the line. He wins the British Grand Prix. And he takes the Podium Tier Champion for season 13. Oh my word, what an anti-climax to this Grand Prix. Josh had a horrible start to the race. He went onto the hards thinking he could one stop, forgetting he would do the two stop, and
also just lost 2 positions to Riley and Aaron. I reckon Aaron could get this on penalty though. Sorry, Josh crosses the line second, but of course he'll be disqualified from the result for not two-stopping mandatory in season 13. So who's going to come across? So it'll be Aaron in second, Oles in third, Riley in fourth, Rex in fifth, and only one stays in 6th position. Go on, Rex.
Come on, Alex. Come on. You can finish this race. Don't bottle it on the last corner. Just keep the car home, please. As he goes, oh my god, it's like watching Josh on the final lap. But he hasn't finished since season 12. And he's going to get a good points finish because Faz, she's in 7th the lap down. And is he going to oh, he's running out of fuel as well. But he's finished, yes! He's finished!
Well done, yes! Rex. Well done, Alex. 6th position, that'll bump up to 5th, I'm sure, after Josh's disqualification. So, well done to you.
Yes. Oh my word. So, to be honest, I'm glad that Ian has won the title and he's on the top step. So, well deserving for him. And, I swear, every time someone gets disqualified to two-stop, I'm in the commentary box. So, is it a commentator's curse? I don't know, but I hope not. But anyway, so a British person hasn't won the British Grand Prix. So, Ian has stole the party from the British, but wow. So we got Ian in first. Josh is getting disqualified, so it'll be Aaron in P2, Oles in P3, Riley in 4th, Alex in 5th, and Faz, she finishes in 6th. And your non-finishers are Scanny, Gaza, Z-Boy Dan, Jamie, and Josh. Oh, it's going to be tough to decide who's driver of the day after that one. But
I've got to say, Ian.
Yeah.
I mean, he dominated that race. He did everything he had to do. Look at the gap he finished ahead, and he put Josh under pressure. And Josh, I've lost the words, Jess. I can't believe that just happened.
I don't know what to say. I don't know who to give. I don't know who to give it to. I'm torn between 3 people, but I think due to the fact Oles was able to get past his teammate. Oh, it's between Alex and Oles. I don't know who to give it to.
I think you got to give it to Alex, Jess. No offense to Oles because he had a brilliant race, but
this is. Well, I'm going to give him the £10 after the race. I'm not going to give him that, and he's going to get my driver of the day vote. So, yeah. He's probably going to get a lot of votes for that one, but yeah, my driver of the day is going to go to Alex. Get in there, mate. Well done.
Alrighty.
Wow, that was an interesting race.
I'm shell-shocked, Josh. I'm absolutely shell-shocked that just happened live as well. So 23-point lead is what Josh had. He took 4 wins, had the pace advantage. You know, he was sometimes qualifying almost a second ahead of the nearest guy behind him in some of the early races in the season. Built up that 23-point championship lead, threw it away on the last race by not stopping and getting disqualified. So I don't know what to say, Jess. I'm absolutely gobsmacked.
Yeah.
But congratulations from the whole league to Ian, who never gave up. And look, you know, he showed up on the final race. The new game's out, and he won himself a championship. So congratulations to him.
He's done a Raikkonen.
And thank you.
He's done a Raikkonen.
Yeah. Yeah. Thank you to all those who took part tonight as well. And that there was no dull points there, Jess. That kept us entertained all the way through. So yeah, make sure you hit that subscribe button. Follow us on Twitter, Instagram, and Facebook. And yeah, as me and Jess mentioned, the driver of the day vote will be on Twitter tomorrow, so you can vote for Ian or Alex. And Jess, for the final time for me this season, I'll let you close it out. But you've got the Prestige tier later on at 9:30.
Yes.
Precision tier is live at the moment. As I mentioned, the 2 drivers fighting for the championship, Westy and White Fountain, are separated by just 1 point. So best of luck to all of those and to all the drivers taking part in the Pinnacle and Prestige tier. Pinnacle tier championship still up for grabs as well, Jess.
Yep, and just a reminder, the Prestige tier was decided last week, so they have no championship to fight, so I'm looking forward to that. But make sure you do watch the Precision tier live right now for that championship fight. Make sure you give the commentators something to watch, and give us some good viewers to watch for the final race in the Precision tier. So that's it for the Podium tier until next season. Make sure you join us for the new F1 2019 game, but make sure you do watch the other tiers as well. I've been JessGames95, and Nick's been Nick, and we will see you. Well, you will see me at 9:30, but good luck. Well, good luck to Nick for his race tonight in the Pinnacle tier. You can check him out then, but we will see you soon for some more racing. Good night.